Sorry for not having a drawing lesson video in so long, but we're going to have one today. So yes, hopefully the video and everything will be fine, and I won't have technical difficulties because I've been having so many technical difficulties lately. It's amazing, yay. So one of the problems people have when they draw hands, I notice, is they think of them as like flat, and whenever they think of them as flat and draw them, they have like no form, and you can see there's no form and it doesn't look good. But you need to think of them as the 3D objects that they are, with all the joints. It's like their whole own body. Like you have your whole body, you draw a whole body, and then the hands are a whole second tiny body with all the joints inside of them. So some things that I've seen examples that people do is they will actually, to show the 3Dness, they'll draw the fingers as like actual, what's it called? Boxes. Yeah, boxes. Which to me is kind of weird, drawing it as boxes. And it does not help me, it just confuses me because I suck at drawing boxes. I mean, look at that. It's like, what's in the bloody world? I didn't even put the right number of joints. Here, we'll just add it. So the fingers have the 2 joints. So there's 1, 2, 3 parts for the finger when it bends. And you might be thinking, well, duh, that's obvious, but sometimes when you draw, you don't think it through. What I have done is I've actually sculpted a tiny hand. It was like this big, out of clay, and it helped me to think about it in the 3D form that it is, and had helped me to draw hands a lot better. And also taking pictures and looking at your own hand. Like say, let's do this pose of this hand that I have attached to my body. Do I need to put a sign on my door called filming?
No, you didn't.
I said, do I need to? Close the door.
I was going to ask you a question.
What's the question?
I was going to say, for the video, for never like pink and yellow, problem, should I cut out that part?
Yes, because that did not make sense.
Okay, goodbye. That's all I was wondering.
Malachi was asking me about his Undertale video. I need to make a sign on my door that says, like, do not come in. I am filming. Thank you. Goodbye. Also, I have this serious problem where I can draw hands super amazing one day, and then the very next day, or just like for a whole week, I cannot draw hands, no matter how hard I try. And it looks like today is one of those days. Oh, this is the best day to have a hand drawing lesson. The day where you can't draw hands. Showing the world how to fail. Okay, it's not that bad, but still, it's pretty garbagey. This is not even how my hand looks. But hands are very hard. They're probably the hardest thing of the human body to draw. Now, a lot of people have a hard time getting the eyes symmetrical. But for me, the hardest thing is hands. The hardest thing of all. I still, all the time, will do reference pictures for hands constantly. I'll always take pictures of my hands. If I'm doing my comic book and say they're holding something, I'll hold it and then take a picture at the angle I need it to help me. And then I can change the hand to look different from my own hand, like like make it more of a boy hand, like make the fingernail shorter and make this part more defined, makes it look more like a boy hand. And then you can make it look more like a child hand by making all the fingers a little bit wider. You can make it look like an old person hands by making the joints a lot more defined, like sticking out. Well, if you've never drawn an elder person's hand before, you might want to just Google elderly hand or old person hand or whatever you want to draw, and sort of look at it, and you can use your own hand to sort of be as a base, the base of the perspective and the angle, but then you can add the details like more wrinkles. So basically taking my own wrinkles I already see in my hand and just defining them more, and my own bumps I already have here where my joints are, and defining it more. Why do I make choosing like the awkwardest positions to draw hands? Like, let's put it in this dumb pose. Yeah, that will totally be a good idea. And yes. Yeah, hands can look really weird if you put them in really weird poses, like I have for some reason decided to do today. And then older people will have much more defined veins and these bones here in their hands. So I want to put some lines there. This is very, very bad. I'm sorry for this. Sorry for this horrible tutorial I'm making. Hopefully it gets better as we go along. What do you think? Another way to help draw hands is, oh yeah, like this with squares, but you can do it with circles instead if you suck at drawing squares like I do. Do it with squares if you're good at squares, but I'm not good at squares, so let's do pointing like this. We're going to make basically bones, but this has only one joint, the thumb, it's smaller, of the hand to sort of show like where you want it to be. And then you can go start fleshing it out. But then you would erase the guidelines, of course, if you weren't using pen, like I am doing. But yeah, remembering these joints are really important to helping the hands look natural and not like weird deformed monsters. Sometimes I get lazy and I'm just like, I just make it like this, and then it just turns into a deformed monster of a hand. Oh my goodness. This isn't even proper. Look how much lower these are and how much higher that is. There we are. But, oh, another thing I've noticed is hands tend to have a curve right here. Like they don't all connect, the fingers don't all connect on a straight line. Here's fingers. They connect on a curved line. Whoa, this is like the most garbage example of drawing. But now let's move on to drawing feet. Sorry if I'm not drawing the best examples today, but sometimes I found with examples that are simpler and actually not drawn as well, I learn more sometimes at the simple things than the complex things. So maybe it will help better. Anyway, maybe it will be good. Okay. Feet are slightly easier to draw than hands because they don't have as complex movements as hands. I'm not going to grab my foot up here on the screen and show to you because, yeah, none of you want to see my foot. People don't like looking at feet for some reason. I don't know why. One thing that I find a lot of people that start drawing feet do that are wrong, when you draw a foot from profile, is they will do a foot that's like this. And that just not look right at all. Maybe if they're doing something stylized, that would be fine. But, like if that's their style or something. But a natural foot shape looks like this more. Because there's a lot more width here. All this. I notice people don't notice when they look at feet how large the ankle is compared to the foot. Even for longer feet, you need a ankle. It's important for your foot. I don't take pictures of feet and use them at different angles like I do with hands. I've actually pretty much just looked at a lot of different drawings of feet. Mostly simple drawings, like just a black and white outline. Helps the best actually. And then looking at how they draw them and just draw that over and over again. And let me restart because I can't draw today. The big toe. And then the other toe. And feet look so different. The different feet. And then I just get the 6 toes. Oh my goodness, what is this? It's a mutant. 6 toes. That's the hardest thing I think probably with the feet is the toes. But once you get the toes down, then you are good to go. Let me draw something bigger so you can actually see it better. You want to start with whatever toe basically is going to be overlapping the other ones, because toes tend to be very close together, overlap each other just a little bit. Make sure I don't get 6 toes again. That would be madness. This is definitely not like the best looking foot ever. The toenails. And once you've practiced drawing feet by looking at different illustrations of feet, then I would say, yeah, start with that because it's easier. And then you can look up some real feet or just draw your own feet and try to do a realistic drawing. See their toes? And look how weird toes are. Toes look weird. So, yes. That is a thing that is hard to do because you're like, it looks weird when you're trying to draw it. But that's okay because toes look weird. I used to draw feet a lot when I was little. I think that might also be a reason why it's a little bit easier for me than hands. But still not, I would not say a pro. I'm not a pro at drawing feet. You can see how they overlap each other. They're basically hands, but with really short, stubby fingers. What feet are. The toes have different numbers of joints for the different toes. I think. Let me look at them in a second after I finish drawing this. Pinky toes, like, I'm hiding. this one seems to have 1. This one has 2. Has 1. This one has 1. And this one has like, never mind, it has 0. I don't even know, the pinky toe's there somehow, doing nothing. So, that is the joints, plus the useless pinky toe that just is there for fashion. And I'm not going to say how to shade the feet and stuff in these videos, because I feel like, well, I have the shading video, and once you understand shading, you can pretty much shade things. So I just want to mostly focus on structure of the hands and the feet, then worry about stuff like shading and things. I hope this lesson helped you in any way. If you also struggle like me drawing hands and feet, they seem so like they should be so easy. So let me know if this helped you, and I am planning on continuing to make more drawing lessons about drawing people, so look forward to that in the future, and have a good day.